Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for supporting and loving my channel. In this 2020, this is my first video, and thanks to Vishaka for requesting this video on Likert management leadership style. So in this video, we'll be talking about the management leadership style given by Likert in 1960. So let us begin. Let's have a brief introduction about the topic. A famous psychologist, Likert, and his associates in 1960 conducted an extensive survey of management in more than 200 organizations. So basically, Likert was a psychologist, and in 1960, he started an extensive research on identifying the various management leadership systems, and he conducted this research study in 3 decades in more than 200 organizations. The main objective was to describe the relationship, roles, and involvement of the manager and the subordinate in the organizational setting. The whole objective of his research was to establish the relationship, the roles and the involvement of managers and subordinate in organizational setting. He was interested in identifying the relationship between the manager and the subordinate, the employer and the employee, and he wanted to study that relationship in the organization. So within the organization, he wanted to explore the relationship between the top management and the people who are working under them. So what are the major findings? So after 3 decades of research, they identified 4 types of leadership style. The first one was the exploitative authoritative. Second one was benevolent authoritative. Third was consultative, and fourth was participative leadership. So these were his 4 different systems of leadership. So we'll try to explain each one of them in detail now. So let us begin with the first one, and that's called exploitative authoritative. Systems are extremely hierarchical, with power and responsibility lying in the higher levels within the organization. So in this system, Likert clearly explained and said that the systems are highly hierarchical. That means the structure is completely in hierarchy, and there is a top management, and then there is a middle management, there is a lower level management, and the maximum power and the responsibility lies with the top level management. So the people who are sitting on the top of the hierarchy, they have all the powers, all the responsibilities, and so they are the one who is responsible for each and every action within the organization. Managers don't trust their employees at all, and due to this, they don't have any say in the decision making process. So Likert clearly explained that these top level managers don't trust their subordinates. They don't trust the people who are working in the organization, and they believe that they are not reliable, and that's why they should not have any say in the decision making process. So whatever the decisions are taken are completely taken by the topper management. There will be no participation from the lower level management or even from the middle level management. The top down communication and the roles were dictated. So the communication was always from the top down. That means top management will explain what to do, when to do, how to do, and roles were dictated. You just need to follow. So you cannot resist any of the roles which have been given to you. So you have to follow whatever the roles that has been given or assigned by the top management. Higher management consider themselves responsible for achieving organizational objectives, but will hold employees responsible for the mistakes that are made at the lower levels. One of the important parameters of exploitative authoritative was that top management will take all the credits for the growth of the organization. They will take responsibility for all the decisions, but if there is any error, any flaw, any mistake made by the lower level management, they will be held responsible. Even for their own failure, they used to blame their lower level management people. The culture of fear among employees. So in this method, in this system, there was a huge fear among employees because they were not allowed to speak. They were not have any say in the decision making. They cannot even think about their own rules, and that is the reason why they always had a fear of losing their job. The second style was benevolent authoritative. So what is benevolent authoritative? Let's talk about that. In this system, responsibility still lies in the upper level of the management of the organization. So there is no doubt about it that just like the exploitative authoritative, in the benevolent authoritative also, the power and the responsibility lies in the top level management. So let's see what is the difference. So management, rather than punishing employees, reward them for their good performance. So one of the key features of benevolent authoritative was, in exploitative, what they used to do, they used to make them fear. They used to punish employees for their mistakes. But in this benevolent authoritative system, they used to reward their employees for their good performance. So rather than creating a fear culture, they wanted to convert that fear culture into a reward culture. Superior had more trust in their employees as compared to exploitative authoritative system. So they had more trust on employees. That means the superiors believe that their employees are more reliable, they are more trustworthy, and they can have certain kind of say in the decision making. There is a two-way communication. However, the upward communication is still limited only to positive information. Important point here is that there was a two-way communication. Two-way communication means the information is coming from top to bottom and the information is going from bottom to up. But the upward communication, this one, like the lower management, can only give you positive information. If any negative things will happen, definitely there will be some kind of fear among the employees. So you are trusted, but you are not trusted blindly. Employees cannot suggest any new idea or recommendation which can make them more productive or satisfied, and therefore employees don't take interest in communicating. One of the things which we need to understand, that whenever we work in organization, we believe that my ideas or my suggestions will be taken by the top level management and they will try to use them at certain level. But if you feel that the top management is not at all interested in taking your ideas, and more importantly, even if they ask you to speak, but when you speak, they don't use those suggestions, then you will always be very reluctant, or you will always resist to give ideas. So that is the reason why we need to understand one thing, that employees were suggesting things to the top level management, but top level management was not very interested in taking those ideas and suggestions from the employees. So third method is called consultative methods. So let's talk about consultative method. In the consultative system, manager have yet greater trust on their subordinates and demonstrate as such by implementing ideas or beliefs they share with their team members. So now the game has changed, and in this system, the manager will have a lot of trust, a greater trust among their employees, and they can implement their ideas also, and they are free to share their ideas, they're free to share their suggestions with the top level management, and most probably the top level management will also value those ideas and suggestions and incorporate in the decision making while taking any decision. Open level communication throughout the hierarchy of the organization, the complete hierarchy of the organization, right from the top level management to middle to lower, there will be an open communication. Top level management can speak to middle level management, middle level can speak to lower level management, and the same can go vice versa as well. Team members are often consulted during the decision making process. So whenever the company is taking any kind of decision, either at the smaller level scale or even at the larger level scale, they let their employees to participate in the process. However, the ultimate power of the decision will still remain with the high level management. One thing that is very important, even if you are participating in the decision making process, but the ultimate call will be taken by the top level management. It is the top level management who will be deciding finally what they need to do and what they don't need to do. Employee motivation is fueled by incentives, including both rewards, responsibility for a specific task. So in this method, unlike the benevolent authoritative method where you used to provide reward, here you also like to provide responsibility for specific tasks. So obviously you will be getting incentives and reward for your work, but at the same time you will also get responsibility for certain tasks where you will be accountable for doing all the things. In this style, employees are given greater freedom and involvement in the meaningful task is used for boost motivation. So the main motivation in consultative method is that people gets responsibility, they are accountable for their job, they have more freedom, they can take decision at their level, and they, even if they can speak their suggestion and idea in front of the top management level, because they believe and the top level management do value those suggestions. The fourth method is called the participative method, which is the most laissez-faire method. So this system considered to be the most satisfying to the lower level employees. Obviously this is the most satisfying, and why it is satisfying, let's talk about that. Upper level management has full trust on their subordinate and actively works with them to as a part of decision making process. So in this method, the lower level management is considered as very, very valuable. Upper level management completely trust on these lower level management people because they believe they are competent and they have all the necessary skills which are required in an organization, and that is the reason why they can take part in decision making process also. Employees are free to discuss any issue or ideas with the superiors. If we are facing any kind of problems, or if the lower level management is facing any kind of issue, they can directly talk to the superiors, breaking all the hierarchy, which is a very, very good feature of participative style. Rewards within a participative system are common and teams are happily cooperative with no direct competition among employees. So one of the things which is very, very impressive in participative system is obviously there is reward, obviously there is coordination, and there is open level communication. One thing is very, very important is there is no conflict and there is no direct comparison or competition among employees. So that really gives a team spirit among the people of working at the lower level management, and they can work for the betterment of the organization. The level of communication is high, but both horizontally and vertically, and teamwork is regular. So there is an open level communication in this system which works both horizontally as well as vertical. So you can talk in the hierarchy also, and you can talk to your peer group members also. So these were the 4 methods of Likert management style system. This is also called as Likert 4 management leadership style. I hope you enjoyed this particular session. You understood this particular concept. So thanks for watching. If you really like my channel, do subscribe to my channel and hit that like button so that you can get the notification. Do send me some more topics on which I can make videos for you. So thanks for watching. We'll be meeting in the next session very soon.